What's up guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about leadership absorbing. Now leadership absorbing is an awesome feature in the game that allows you to essentially um, transfer leadership from one commander to another. So I'm going to run you guys through the process, how to do it correctly, and how to maximize the benefits of this feature, alright? So let's just jump into it. I'm going to start off with the basics. So first off, in order to do this leadership absorption, you need to the two commanders that will be involved. So there will always be two commanders involved in this process. Now, both commanders have to be in S rank. If they are not S rank, they cannot participate, or that you cannot use them in leadership absorbing. Okay, so I'm gonna be absorbing my flare into Stella. Think of it as Majin Buu from Dragon Ball Z. All right, Majin Buu absorbs people, and this is what pretty much happens. Okay, so I'm gonna be absorbing my S flare, my S rank flare, into Stella. So Stella will be eating this guy. Okay, now keep in mind that when you absorb a commander, that commander that you absorb will disappear. That commander will be gone. I mean, you can obviously get that commander again, but once this goes through, the commander that you absorb will be gone. Okay. So let's go ahead and do this. So before you want to absorb any two commanders, you need to keep this. You want to make sure that you maximize the success rate of both commanders. Now, what do I mean by this? So if you go to my flare, you can see that my flare has almost 3k leadership. So if I try to add any more leadership to flare, you'll see that my success rate for flare is at 40%. Now that is a very shitty success rate. 40% success rate means that if you try to increase this leadership, it will not increase by much. Now you always want to increase 10 times when you're increasing leadership on a commander using your magazines. You want to make sure that you're always doing increase 10 times to gain this +2 leadership. You just get more leadership overall. But the higher the success rate, obviously, the more leadership that you'll get out of your magazines. So there's really no point to put any more magazines into my flare. If you have a commander that has a 40% success rate, try to avoid, putting magazines into them. Now, if you're barely starting off the game, it's okay. Drop magazines onto your commander until you get to 1,500, 2,000 leadership. That's a great farming leadership. So, and early on, you need to start power farming so you guys can upgrade your arcles and all your buildings and just everything, and just get up to speed. So, but if okay, so just quick overview. So success rates. Make sure that before you absorb any commander, you want to make sure that you utilize your success rate and make sure that it shows 40% before you even absorb. If we go over to my Stella is only at 250 leadership. So if I try to add leadership onto her, you'll see that my success rate on Stella is 95%. Okay. So before I want to absorb my flare into Stella, I want to put magazines into Stella to utilize this high success rate. Um, so let's go ahead and do this. So just increase 10 times. So you see how as I upgrade my leadership, so you see how increased 10 times I got +20. That's great. +20, +18. So this is awesome. I'm getting high leadership increases because my success rate is high. It's at 90%. Okay, so we just keep it like at 22. I believe the highest you can get is 24, or maybe it is 22. It's around there. I'm not exactly sure. So you see how my success rate has dropped. See, so there are certain checkpoints that you reach where the success rate just drops. So I prefer. Oh, see, that was a 12. See, that was just unlucky. So 20. Okay, 22, that's awesome. 22, let's go. 20, 18, okay, solid. 20, 22, 18, 16, 22, 20. All right, so you guys get the point. Okay, success rate 80% now. So the higher that you increase the leadership, the lower the success rate that you know, the further that success rate drops. So I'm just gonna keep going here, guys, until so like see you see how that only increased by 10. So it's getting low. See, like it increased by 12, 10, 16. Okay, so let's see, success rate's at 50% now. So um, the increase isn't gonna be going up by much. Look at that. Success rate 16, that's good. 16, that's great. 6, that's pretty shitty. 14, that's whatever. Okay, so I was able to get my Stella to 976 leadership before my success rate dropped to 40%. Now, obviously, this will vary based on your luck, but once your success rate gets to 40%, stop using magazines on that commander. Now, where there are events where your chances for uh, I I'm trying to remember how they word it. It's kind of weird, but essentially there's an event that comes by only after server merge. So if you have not yet gone through your first server merge, farm those magazines, hang on to them, and just wait for this event. This event is amazing. So what this event does is it pretty much the success rate here, instead of being 40% right now, it'd probably be at like 60% still during the event. So that's awesome. So all right, let's keep going, guys. So now I have my 3K leadership flare and I have my Stella. So now let's get into the absorbing. So I'm gonna be absorbing my flare into Stella. Okay, let me take this gear off. I just want to be safe and make sure this gear doesn't disappear. Okay, let's take this off. All right. So so I want the leadership to go over to Stella. So I'm gonna click on Stella instead of Flare, and you're gonna click on the leadership. You're gonna click on the leadership, and then below you're gonna see this purple button right here. It's called Leadership Absorb. So you're gonna click on that. So I can scroll, and these are all the S commanders that I have that I can potentially absorb. Okay. So these S commanders here, like if you see the additional leadership in the bottom, I don't want to absorb these guys yet because you'll essentially be throwing away an S commander, you know, and without maximizing the leadership that you can get from these guys. So let's go to my flare. So you click on your flare, okay? Or in my case, I'm gonna click on my flare, and it's gonna, you see that little, so it's locked onto him. So I click on leadership absorb, and it'll just give you some warnings and some confirmation pop-ups, so just to let you know what you're doing. Okay, so it says here your flare will be deleted and you will receive however much leadership that commander has. In my case, this is the amount of leadership that I put into the commander using magazines. So I'm gonna hit confirm, and then it's gonna another pop-up, confirm delete flare. After absorbing leadership, you will lose your commander. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and click confirm, and there it is. So I go back, and my Stella is now at 3,764 leadership, and my flare is gone. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much how it goes down. Nothing too complicated about it, but just the main thing that I want to stress is before you absorb any S commander into any other S commander, you want to make sure that both commanders that are involved in the absorption process have maximized leadership based on the success rate right here. Make sure you utilize your success rate. Make sure you get it to 40% using magazines. Just keep increasing the leadership of both commanders until that leadership is at 40%. then you absorb. Okay, so yeah, guys. Hope this video helped you out. Um, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for another video. All right, peace.